In this dark horror tale, The Forbidden Grimoire, a historian discovers an ancient book buried beneath a forgotten abbey. When he reads from its cursed pages, he ignites a war between vampires and demons, both determined to possess the grimoire's power. As he succumbs to its whispers, humanity teeters on the edge of extinction. Experience a chilling story of temptation, ancient evil, and the price of forbidden knowledge in this cinematic horror narrative. The rain fell in thick, relentless sheets over the cracked stone of St. Mercurius Abbey, washing away centuries of dust, but never its sins. Dr. Adrian Vale stood at the threshold, coat drenched, boots sinking into the soft, ancient earth. The abbey's windows were black and hollow, like the sockets of a skull. It had been abandoned since the 17th century, long enough for the living to forget what had been sealed inside. He hadn't come for relics or gold. He came for a book. Adrian was a historian by trade, specializing in occult manuscripts. The rumors of a lost grimoire, one said to contain the rites of angels and demons, had circulated among scholars for decades. Most dismissed it as legend. But the letter that arrived at his university 2 months ago, written in faded ink and sealed with a sigil he couldn't translate, changed everything. It had one sentence: "The grimoire of Ahriman waits beneath St. Mercurius. Do not open it unless you wish to see the world end." He told himself he sought the truth, not power. But when he pried open the heavy oak doors and stepped into the abbey's dark, candle-scented silence, something inside him whispered otherwise. The main hall stretched before him, a cathedral of dust and decay. Moonlight filtered through the broken roof, painting the floor in silver shards. Statues of forgotten saints stared down from alcoves, each defaced, their eyes gouged out. At the far end stood an altar split down the middle, like a wound carved through marble. Adrian's flashlight caught a glint of brass in the debris. He knelt and brushed away the rubble. A lock plate, ancient, ornate, embossed with runes. Beneath it, a trap door. His pulse quickened. He forced it open, revealing a spiral staircase descending into darkness. The air that rose up was heavy, thick with the scent of mildew and something else. Something metallic and faintly sweet. Blood. He hesitated, then descended. The crypt below was vast, lined with tombs and crumbling effigies. At its center stood a stone pedestal wrapped in rusted chains. Upon it rested a single object, a massive black tome, bound in what looked disturbingly like human skin. The grimoire. He approached it reverently, fingers trembling. Its surface was warm to the touch. Symbols shifted across it like oil on water, defying his attempts to read them. He opened it. The words were written in no language he knew, yet he understood them. They spoke directly to the mind, bypassing reason. He read of gates between worlds, of ancient beings bound beneath the earth. He read of power so vast it could unmake reality itself. And then he read the invocation. At first, nothing happened. Then, the temperature dropped. His breath fogged in the air. The candles flickered to life on their own, casting long, writhing shadows on the crypt walls. A voice whispered from behind him. "You should not have read that aloud." Adrian spun around, heart pounding. A man stood at the edge of the candlelight, tall, elegant, dressed in black that shimmered like liquid night. His eyes glowed faintly red. "I am Lucian," the stranger said, bowing slightly. "And you, dear scholar, have just broken the oldest covenant between our kind and theirs." "Yours?" Adrian stammered. "Who are you?" Lucian smiled, showing the tips of fangs. "A connoisseur of blood and secrets. You might call me a vampire." Adrian stepped back, clutching the grimoire. "Then this belongs to you?" Lucian's smile faded. "No. It belongs to him. And if you value your soul, you will give it to me before they come." The ground trembled. The crypt walls shuddered as dust rained from the ceiling. A deep rumble echoed through the stone, followed by a guttural growl that vibrated through Adrian's bones. Lucian's expression hardened. Too late. The far wall split open like a wound, and from it poured a torrent of smoke and flame. Shapes emerged, massive, winged, their eyes burning like coals. The demons of Ahriman. The vampire drew a curved blade from his coat, its edge glinting with silver runes. "Stay behind me," he hissed. "If they take the book, neither of us will survive." Adrian couldn't move. The demons surged forward, clawed limbs scraping stone. Lucian met them head-on, blade flashing in arcs of crimson and fire. The air filled with screams, some human, some not. One of the creatures lunged at Adrian. He raised the grimoire instinctively, and a shockwave of black light erupted from its pages, flinging the demon backward. His vision blurred, his ears rang. When he looked down, symbols burned across his palms, the same as those on the book's cover. Lucian turned, eyes wide. "What have you done?" When the battle was over, the crypt was silent again. Demonic corpses dissolved into ash. Lucian stood breathing heavily, blade dripping dark ichor. He sheathed it and looked at Adrian with something like fear. "You've bound yourself to it," he said quietly. "The grimoire has chosen you," Adrian's voice trembled. "What does that mean?" "It means you're no longer entirely human." Days blurred into nights. Adrian and Lucian fled the abbey, traveling through forgotten towns and ancient forests. The grimoire pulsed with life inside its satchel, whispering to Adrian in dreams. It showed him things: cities burning, skies split by wings of fire, oceans boiling red. And yet, beneath the horror, it offered understanding. "You could stop it," the voice murmured. "You could command them." Lucian warned him to resist. "That book was forged by Ahriman himself," he said one night as they camped by a ruined chapel. "Its power corrupts everything it touches." Adrian's eyes glowed faintly in the firelight. "Or perhaps it reveals what was already there." They were hunted relentlessly, sometimes by pale, bloodless assassins moving under moonlight, sometimes by shadowy beasts that screamed like dying stars. Vampires and demons both wanted the same thing, but for different ends. The vampires sought to destroy the grimoire, fearing it would awaken the ancient god Ahriman and end all life. The demons sought to use it to free their master from his prison. Caught between two wars, Adrian began to change. His reflection grew faint. His heart slowed. His thoughts were no longer entirely his own. Lucian noticed. "You're slipping," he said. "The book's voice isn't yours." Adrian smiled faintly. "Maybe not. But it's right." In the ruins of an old cathedral in Prague, the final confrontation came. The air crackled with power as legions of vampires and demons clashed around them, turning marble to dust. Adrian stood at the altar, the grimoire open before him, chanting words no mortal throat should know. Lucian fought his way through the chaos, reaching him just as the floor split open and a column of red light shot upward. "Adrian, stop! You'll bring him through." Adrian turned, his eyes now pitch black. Maybe that's the point. Maybe he deserves to return. Lucian seized him by the collar. "You're not a god. You're a man playing with damnation." Adrian's expression softened for a moment, then hardened again. "You were right, Lucian. The book doesn't corrupt. It reveals." He pressed his palm to the page. The world tore open. Light and shadow exploded outward. The cathedral disintegrated in a scream of fire. The battle stopped. From the rift rose a figure so vast it blotted out the stars. Horns like spires, wings of flame. Ahriman. The being's voice was not sound, but thought, searing into every living mind. "At last, my vessel awakens." Lucian fell to his knees, eyes wide in horror. "No!" Adrian hovered above the altar, his flesh fracturing like porcelain. The black light from the book poured into him, fusing man and monster. When the glow faded, he stood transformed. Neither human nor demon, but something new. He looked down at Lucian, voice layered with 1,000 whispers. "It's over. The balance is broken." Lucian's fangs glinted in the dying firelight. "Then you've doomed us all." Adrian smiled sadly. "No, I've freed us." The cathedral collapsed. Weeks later, Europe burned. Cities vanished under crimson lightning. Shadows took shape and walked among the living. Those who survived whispered of a man cloaked in black wandering the ruins, carrying a book that glowed like an ember. They called him the Herald of the Grimoire. But in truth, Adrian Vale no longer existed. Only the vessel remained, and the endless voice that whispered in the dark. The world ends not with fire or silence, but with knowledge unbound.